Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of Father Talks. I am here with the man, Angel DeMero, right? Look, we took you over. We took you over, man. I butchered it already. Holy shit. I should have did a couple takes before, but
Oh
hey,
God.
all
Hey,
right,
it's
do it
cool.
for me right.
All right. So the name is Angel Defay Marrero.
There you
And
go.
I
I thought we
also
put the
go
two
by the
together.
AOD. Also go by the AOD,
That's what's up.
the Angel of Death. Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, man, listen, everybody watching, listening, wherever you at, me and Angel met back in a couple years ago, 2 years ago,
About to. Yep.
working out at the gym and whatnot, and we just got to kicking it. We were both trainers at the gym at the time, and we just
Mhm.
got to kicking it about this, that, and the third, and we've been cool ever since. I've been following Angel's journey. He's a wrestler and whatnot, and I grew up on wrestling, so it's kind of exciting for me to see somebody at this early stage in their career, you know, and going through the
Mhm.
process and everything, week in and week out. You see him. I get to see what most people don't see. So like with Angel, I see him at the gym doing the work to get ready, for the matches and whatnot, where most people just get to see wrestlers, in the ring. They don't see the process going up, building up to those matches
Right.
and what it takes to be ready, you know, and
Yep.
be physically fit for that. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, Angel, how old are you?
I'm 24.
24.
Yes, sir.
Man,
I'm young.
hey, in places because I'm telling you, listen, these 52-year-old knees is done for, man.
Hey, look. Hey, I got you. Here you go. I'm gonna take my knees off and give them to you.
Yeah, man. Again, it's inspirational, man, to see, somebody your age out there doing the damn thing, and every time I see you at the gym, man, you in there working, you're not one of them
Sir.
dudes that's in the gym, posing, taking pictures and shit, like you literally been in the gym for 5 minutes and you already posing and shit. No, your ass is in there
Right.
working. Where I see
Right.
most cats in the gym, and generally I try to stay out of the gym later on in the evening, but when
Yeah.
I am in there later, it's dudes, they've been on the bench for 45 minutes. They done spent more time, posing, you know, flexing their little muscle and whatnot. Bro, you
Right.
done one set, and okay, come on. We're gonna do some more work.
Yeah, it kind of just comes down to like I would say the work ethic, but also like just the time. Like outside of the gym, I know what I have to do.
Right.
Like personally, whether it's picking up my brother from football practice or making sure my mom is good. Like my mom works midnight, so I gotta making sure she's at work, stuff like that. My grandma's getting older, making sure she getting what she need to get done. But it just comes down to just the time. Like you get in there, I don't really like to mess around like that, but I do show my personality in the gym.
Right, right, right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but you ain't spent
you get locked in on one song, you're like, oh yeah, it turn you up a little bit, and
right.
then you just get the vibe. And so once you get in your groove, and once I get my groove, and once I get my vibe, I'll dance around the gym, I'll rap out loud, I'll sing out loud. I don't care because I know I'm still getting my work done at the end of
Right.
the day.
Right.
So
See,
that's really all it came down to for me.
yeah, and see, I sometimes I try to be a little unapproachable at the gym because people will stop me to ask questions or this, that, and everything else. And sometimes
Hmm.
I get wrapped up in those conversations, you know, and now I done spent 20 minutes talking to somebody about, whatever. I generally don't mind helping other
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
but I need my time to get my work done.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell us a little bit, how did you get started?
So when I tell people like I feel like this was kind of preordained over me.
Right.
My mom grew up a wrestling fanatic. Like
Really?
she grew up loving wrestling. Yes,
That's crazy.
and I forgot which show she went to when they were here back when she was like a little kid or whatever. But it wasn't WrestleMania when it was at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Okay.
But she went to one of the shows, but like she always loved wrestling because my great grandfather, he loved boxing, baseball, football, like he loved all kind of sports, and she would watch it with him, and he would watch wrestling with her.
Okay.
And so like that was something I guess that they did to bond, and like that's kind of how it happened. But growing up, she watched it like all even now. Like my mom's like I tell everybody this. My mom watches more wrestling than I do, and it's crazy. Yes.
I could
She was watching, I wanna say Halloween Havoc last night, the newer yesterday's pay-per-view. She was
okay,
watching it yesterday.
that's crazy.
And, like, we talk about wrestling, stuff like that, but like I said, I feel like she preordained this over me because she said once she had me, like once she gave birth to me, she was watching like Friday Night SmackDown because I was born on a Friday,
Right.
and she was watching Friday Night SmackDown, and I think The Rock was out. I don't know if he was wrestling, but she was like he was out there. Might have been cutting a promo or some shit, you know. Uh, so she was like, this is what I feel like my son is going to do when he gets older.
Right.
And growing up, I was always more of a hyper kid anyway. Like I couldn't really sit still in the classroom, if that makes sense, or I couldn't really like stop talking as much because I have ADHD.
You and me both.
And so it kind of just came down to like putting me in sports,
Right.
and sports really kind of like because I do have a hyper fixation, I will say, as an individual. Like I'm hyper fixated on certain things. Um, but she put me in football when I was 4, and I played football from 4 years old to 17. But in the midst of me playing football, I played soccer, baseball, basketball, and I was an amateur wrestler throughout high school. So just and I necessarily found amateur wrestling my sophomore year
Okay.
in high school, and because my friends were always telling me like, you need to wrestle as a freshman. You're like, you need to wrestle. I was like, I don't know,
Uh,
you know, like
I'll tell you, I have found that kids who wrestle, especially as a coach, kids who
mhm,
wrestle, especially my defensive players, always the best tackle. Always
for
the best
sure,
tacklers. You know,
for sure.
if you got a kid who wrestles and plays defense, nobody's getting away from that cat. Generally, especially nobody's getting away.
Right. Absolutely. I 100% agree to that because it so after my freshman year playing football, I mean, I was on JV, but it didn't really matter. Um, I stood out enough to the varsity coaches and I showed up. You know, I showed up to those workouts and I was putting in work with though at that point the seniors, like those seniors that were coming back for the next year. And it really just came down to like my work ethic. And I went to a wrestling meet at that point in my freshman year and I watched. Like I was just spectating. I watched. And I was like, oh shit, oh shucks, you know, like you get to slam people? I didn't think it was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to just slam people and it's cool. All right, bet. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like nobody could tell me different. I spoke for 6 to 8 months about it. I'm like, I'm a wrestler next year. And when I told my coach, Coach Bazier, he was like one of the most influential men in my life at that point in time. Mind you, he's been around Ferndale for years, like 50 plus years.
Okay.
He was a teacher, but he went to Almont. If you from Michigan and you know where Almont is,
Okay.
Armada, Almont, somewhere over in that area. But he played football and he wrestled there back in the day. And like I said, he was one of the most influential men in my life at this point in time. So when I told him I wanted to wrestle, he was like, you'll be a great football player." And
Lost your picture there for a second. Oh, there we go.
yeah, um, he was like, "You'll be a great football player." So my sophomore year, I was in there. Like
Okay.
I was wrestling with heavyweights. You know what I mean? So that that kind of shaped and folded me to be like, you know what? It don't matter how big a person is. If I can hang with them, I can hang with anybody.
Right.
And I took that whole and I was a varsity wrestler for only 2 matches my sophomore year. I lost 2 matches my sophomore year, but wrestling JV, I mean, I was decent. You know, I wasn't like the greatest, but I dedicated so much time in that off season going into my junior year where it translated to football, where it translated to any of the other sports. I did track as well. So like it really helped. It helped shape me as a man and it helped shape me and my character and how like I go about life.
Right.
It does make you realize a lot of things about life. Like
How's
you're
it
gonna
going?
lose, you're gonna get
Sorry
beat
about
up,
the
you're
late
gonna be
entry.
bruised, you're gonna be battered, you might get broken down. It doesn't matter as long as you keep getting up. What's up, man? How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you.
No, 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 no.
Are you
That's
good,
good,
brother?
man.
You good?
I was expecting you to join late. So, we got one more that may pop into the show, guys. Hey, so this is Mr. Rashad Shabazz from the
What's up, Mr.
from
Rashad?
from
Nice to
the
meet you too, man.
podcast. Uh, RJ does a lot
Nice
of
to meet you,
sports
Angel.
podcasts and whatnot. Occasionally, I get to step in with them and whatnot, and we talk everything football. So, RJ,
I didn't even
This is my man Angel. I think you know Angel from you've
Likewise,
seen him at
God,
the gym a
respect.
few times about not when you
what's
and our
up,
trainer used
man?
to be
Pleasure to
there.
meet you.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure
Pretty
we've crossed
good.
paths. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
He used to be
day to day
he was one of
stuff.
the trainers at the gym.
Getting a lot of stuff ready for
Yeah.
my baby that's on the
Yeah.
way. Just finished.
Likewise, man. How you
Appreciate
doing
you.
today? Yes, sir. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, new dad coming up. We got one more that's gonna pop in. That's gonna
Okay.
jump in sooner or later. He's Jordan Strickland. He's coaching youth football right now. So I appreciate him making the time to stop in with us and everything. He was the high school athlete that I want to bring in because he loves wrestling and he had all these questions and everything. So I think honestly, low key, I think he was a little nervous, but he's like, man, coach, what do I say? I'm like, man, ask whatever question you want to, man. We good.
I mean, if we talking storylines, I don't really
Yeah.
got much to say on
No,
storylines, you
that's all
know.
right, bro. That's all right. Hey, listen, I just, again, man, like I told you, we were talking offline. I just want this to
Yeah,
be a positive interaction,
for sure.
every opportunity we get.
Yeah.
I'm not, there's a lot of things that we could be talking about, politics, bullshit like that, but
Yeah,
it's enough, as far as I'm concerned, it's enough dragging us down. I want this to be more as inspirational and aspirational as possible. I
for
don't
sure.
want us to waste time on shit that the three of us can't control together. So I
Facts.
can focus on the good than the negative. So while we're talking, s- my question now for you: how are you balancing life and wrestling?
I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, well, now I'm single, so it's a little different, but um, I just tend to focus more on me now.
Right.
If I know I need a rest day, I'll take typically like a Friday,
Okay.
right? Because my brother played football, so I wouldn't go to the gym on Fridays. I'll probably go wrestle and like train for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but then that was just like an active
Yeah, I love
recovery.
the
So
house. My
now
old lady
balancing
argues with me
like
about the house
fun
all the
and
time.
trying to find something to do every now and again, it's kind of tough because I'm such a homebody. Like I like being in
Me
the
too.
house.
Me too,
You
man.
know what I mean?
Listen, back
But
in the
it's like
day,
I could be doing
Yeah.
something different, completely different if I was outside. You know what I'm saying?
right?
But I'm not really like an outside type of person. Like, yes, if I'm outside with people that like to be outside. But me naturally, I'm in the crib. I'm resting, I'm sleeping, I'm watching TV shows, wrestling, you know?
I am telling you, 30 years ago, man, I was always out, looking to do shit. I like traveling now, but when I'm at
Yeah.
home, I like to be at home. Like
Yeah.
I will chill in the backyard all summer long,
This is so fun.
sit in my little swing and whatnot and just hang out. I'll be on
Had
my
the kids
laptop,
running
whatever,
around and then
take a
just
nap in the yard,
sit
whatever.
back chilling.
I
Oh
can
yeah.
tell, hey, that sounds like some grandpa type shit to do, but
Hey, that's a vibe though.
listen,
That's a straight vibe for
yeah,
sure.
but sometimes I bring the TV out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, that's
I'll
a
bring the
vibe for
laptop out.
sure.
Maybe I'll watch, some games on the laptop or bring the TV out and sit out there and chill all day.
Hmm.
Hey, that's a cool Saturday for me, you
Heck
know?
yeah. I grew up around older people anyway, so
Um,
like most of my cousins are older than me. I don't really like I got a couple cousins my age, but most of my cousins are older. So I was always doing stuff older people were doing.
Okay.
Um and like some of my older cousins that's like around my mom's age,
Yeah.
like they had kickbacks during the summer, they had kickbacks in the fall. Like
Right.
I'm going over their house. We all
gotcha.
we all chilling, we all vibing, we watching games or playing cards or whatever, like whatever may have you. So that's always kind of been like what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like being around family. I like being around friends. I
Yeah.
like being in a good vibe state. Of course, I'm a music person too. So anytime the music on, I'm gonna vibe.
Yeah.
That's just a flat out. I'm vibing for
Yeah.
sure. So
See,
I've always been one of those people.
the thing is, for me, man, I love, like RJ, you can attest to this. I mean, we have barbecues at the house all the time. And listen, the more people, the
So
better. Okay.
Right.
I love having people. I love to cook. Okay. So any opportunity I get to cook for people, whatnot, let's
Mhm.
go. Hey, show up,
we
bring a
should
little
have had you
something,
for the baby shower,
bring,
man.
again, I don't ask people to do
We
much,
should have had you
bring
cooking
a
for us,
side
man.
dish
Right.
or
Right.
whatever. We're
Yeah.
going to sit in the yard, we're going to
Look,
chill out, hang out and everything. And it's going to be a good time.
look, we should
Yeah.
have had you for the baby shower. It would have been good. She didn't want to eat
Me?
nothing unless she
Yeah.
made it
Man.
herself.
Oh, man.
She
Yeah.
literally didn't want to eat nothing.
Listen, you should have asked me, man. I would have done it for free. I would have happily done it for you.
Man,
So, all right, man. So moving on. All right, who's I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask anyway. So,
okay.
all right, who's your biggest mentor, and role model?
My biggest mentor, over the years, I've had a lot, um, because my mom was like mom and dad for me.
Right.
Um, so like, of course, my mom is like one of my biggest mentors and motivators.
So,
But for me, I will also say like my high school wrestling coach,
okay.
Coach Bazier,
That's
What
what's up,
school?
man.
Ferndale High School.
Let's shout out the coach.
Shout out Coach Bazier, Ferndale High School. He's been
That's
around 50 plus years.
right. That's awesome.
Um, so just like him being my coach, it, and he taught me a lot of life lessons for sure. And anybody that went to Ferndale and like played under him or wrestled for him,
Mhm.
they can attest to that. Like he definitely preached a lot of life lessons and life principles during practice
Right.
at any point.
Yeah. See, and
Never raised his voice as much, you know, never really tried to raise his voice at us, but very stern in his words, if
right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I mean, for me, I remember the coaches who ran me the most. No. Well, serious, man. Even
Yeah,
when I was in the military, the drill sergeants I remember the most. Those are the ones who kicked my ass the most, and they're the ones that I still talk to
Yeah.
today.
right.
Like we drop messages here and there. I see what they're doing in life and whatnot, and
Mhm.
those are the people that I talk to the most.
Wow.
The ones who were super nice to me are like, but I like
Yeah.
one drill sergeant had me doing push-ups so long, dog. I broke my watch.
Damn.
Okay, you know how hard it is to snap your watch. Okay,
Break your yeah. That's pressure, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
down there doing push-ups forever. In a pool of sweat. But
Hey man,
and
it be like that.
this day, Drill Sergeant Fernandez, hey, thank you. Drill Sergeant Hilliker, crazy as hell, but hey, I appreciate those guys.
But
It helped me be a little more disciplined than I've
Okay.
ever been in my life. You know.
for
Um,
sure.
okay.
He I had a couple more. Shout out to Ryan Watts. He wrestled for Michigan State.
Okay.
Chavez Harris. He wrestled at a school down in Ohio. So like and my coach Cody what's his last name? I forgot his last name. But he coaches at Warren Mott. He's a wrestling coach at Warren Mott now.
Okay.
Those guys really like pushed me, if that makes sense. Like they made me a better version of myself that I was at that age, and it translated to the age I am now. Like I'm still around with these guys. I still talk to these guys, on the regular, and they still motivate me to just keep doing what I'm doing because I see what they're doing, and they've always told me like if it's something that you want in life, you got to go do it no matter what. And that's why I love them for staying by me for that.
Yeah, but I mean, the reality is, man, is that anything worth doing should be difficult.
For
Okay,
sure.
it should be uncomfortable because if it's not, then everybody's going to do it, but everybody's not going to care about it the same way. If you have to sacrifice anything for something that you really want, when you accomplish that thing, you're
Yeah.
not gonna appreciate it. It's like, and no knock to people, who have to do it, but it's like people who, take the pill or, whatever, to help them lose weight. They don't have the same appreciation for that work that the
Right.
person who went from, 200 some odd pounds, 300 some odd pounds, to their whatever their goal weight was by just doing the work, you know, versus the person who took a pill or had surgery, they got the quick way out. Whereas the person
Yeah.
had to struggle for a year, 6 months, whatever have you, they have a different appreciation for that.
And I feel like
So
that's kind
same goes
of
for you.
a lot of people
You have a
nowadays too,
different
though.
appreciation
Yeah,
for
I was
your
gonna tie in that
successes
with, like, the
because
workspace
it's not
nowadays
being, it's,
because
it's work.
with trades, it's like
Yeah.
a
Putting
10 to
in
1
that work.
ratio,
Yeah. All
especially
right.
in the
I
HVAC
love it.
field. You got 10
My
guys
bad.
retiring and only one person coming in, but all these people wanna sign up to do HVAC, and it's like nobody has the work ethic to finish the program or finish what they started. I see a bunch of guys that I started with at, my school at UTI Canton, half of them dropped out just because they failed 2 classes or 1 class. They didn't wanna try again or continue to push through that adversity.
Okay. Right. But I will tell you that I think that's a big portion of that is parents' fault because
Mhm.
so my generation of parents, we struggle mightily to get things together.
Yeah.
and when we had kids, we didn't want our kids to have to struggle. So we
Right.
made things easier on them,
Yeah.
and sometimes we handed them things without them appreciating the work that went into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you see a lot of that, RJ.
I can agree to that because like anything my mom like yeah, I was somewhat spoiled growing up, but I think after like I turned 10, I really started to realize like my mom was like, if you want something, like you gotta work for it. Whether it's grades, whether it's, you playing a sport or you winning a championship, like if I won a
Yeah.
championship, yeah, I get rewarded for it. I get a toy for it. Something like stuff like that. Like I understood like putting in the work to get the reward.
You on your
Especially from
own.
my mom, you know what I mean? Like yeah, I was like I said, I was spoiled for a while, but after my brother was born, that spoiled
Right.
stuff that got cut. You feel me? Like
Makes
it's like, yeah, like if you want something, like you gotta work for it. But I also knew what hustle was.
right.
Like I knew how to go shovel somebody's driveway, make a couple dollars, go back
Yeah.
home, buy food, buy whatever I wanted. And that's true to this day. And even me, like with working a day job, still wrestling on the weekends, training, lifting, it's a hustle. It's the
Yeah.
grind. And I love it. I love it so much. And
And
I'm
it's
like,
crazy.
yep,
Most people don't. Most people don't. You know, like,
yeah. Because
the
they
minute
can't appreciate it, like you
right,
said.
because the minute things get hard, everybody wants to quit, and like we were talking about earlier, hey, I started this podcast stuff 2 years ago, man. And I did like 3, 4 episodes and I just stopped doing it.
Mhm.
Partially because, I was not in the right headspace, to do it. I had a bunch of stuff going on in life in general. My life was just, headed in a different trajectory at the time. Now, this is what I'm really passionate about. I can give it 120%,
Mhm.
and if you can't invest, fully into something, then why do it?
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
okay, so we're gonna go with adversity and pain. Okay. What's one of the toughest moments you faced inside or outside of the ring?
Inside the ring, I tore my meniscus a few years ago. I remember when
Yep.
I first met you. I had just torn it or something like that, or just had surgery. But I tore my meniscus. I want to say at the end of 2022.
Okay.
I was just basically starting my career out at that point in time. But I didn't notice that it was torn. I didn't know it was torn at this point. And I want to say at the beginning of 2023, I was in a match with my boy Drake King Logan.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. And we were wrestling, and he pulled me out the ring by my ankles, and I felt something like actually pop,
Okay.
but my adrenaline was going. So I felt that pop, but I didn't necessarily feel it at this point in time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so him and I, we finished the match. My tag partner was on the card as well at a different point, and I was limping to the back. So he walked out to help me, get to the back. And I just remember like sitting on this little counter, and I'm just like, something's wrong. Something's bothering me. Not bad. It was somewhat tolerable, but something was bothering me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. And I was limping around for the rest of the night, and I got home. I got ready for bed and was like I showered and stuff, got ready for bed, but I couldn't sleep.
Right.
Now to me that was a big indicator because I like to sleep. And I
Right.
know if I'm doing something that tires me out, I'm gonna immediately crash. That wasn't the case.
Okay.
And I had my leg elevated, ice on it, icy hot on it, Tiger Bomb, whatever. And I still couldn't sleep. So I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I'm like, yeah, this not right. So I called my mom and like, mind you, we across the crib. So I called my mom. I'm like, yeah, something's not right with my leg. Like, I'm gonna need you to help come with me to the doctor. And we went to the urgent care and they did the x-ray. Oh, nothing's wrong. All right, we're gonna send you to the ortho doctor. Send me to the ortho doctor. He comes back, he does his test. He's like, yeah, you tore your meniscus and I don't want you to lift weights and this and this. And I kind of felt like a stab, like, hold on, you don't want me doing what? So I told the doc, I said, no disrespect, but I'm gonna lift weights. Like, don't tell me not to lift weights because me being such a hands-on physical guy. And when I went to college, I did study kinesiology for a point in time. So I understood like even in rehabilitation, you're gonna have to put weight on it. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, I want you to get surgery. I looked at my mom. I was like, I don't know. But I was just like, all right. So I was supposed to set the surgery date, and we did. But my grandma on my dad's side ended up passing away, so I had to push the surgery back, and that was another pain for me as well. So at this point in time, it's 2023, and I got hurt already, and I lost my grandmother. Now, the backstory behind losing my grandmother was she had cancer and didn't know,
Shit.
Oh man.
you know. So she passed away, and I just remember my last conversation with her,
Mhm.
and it wasn't a really good conversation, and it was a year ahead of time. So when my sister told me she passed, like I I broke, like literally I broke in half because that lady used to watch me. She used like I was her grandbaby, like I was her only grandson. You know what I'm saying? And the last conversation I had with her, it wasn't a good conversation, and I just was like, damn, I regret it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still deal with that now. Like, damn, I hope like when I'm praying and when I'm talking to God and stuff like that, I know she's listening. So I know she's not like upset with me, stuff like that. But me being a man though is like that shouldn't have been the last conversation you had with your grandma.
Right. And but this is, I mean, that's proof that we got to make the most of every day because we don't know how much time we have on this earth. You
Yeah.
know, and I mean, I've got some relationships in my family that I need to fix as well, and part of it is, stubbornness. Part of it is, hey, I've got alcoholism in my family. I've got, some
Yep.
other issues and whatnot. And it makes it hard to come to terms, to make amends with people and whatnot. I don't know what your
Hmm.
particular situation was, but I mean, like I tell people who've had a family member who is, suffering whatever medical situations, when that person passes away, they are no longer suffering.
Right.
You're with their maker. They're not suffering. They're looking, trusting God that, those people are looking back at you, man, and they're proud of the person that you are. I mean, unless you're a crackhead and you're running around stealing people's TVs and shit, then maybe not so
Hey, I
much.
heard I heard it's about to get crazy November 1st.
Hey man,
They got
make
Walmart
sure y'all
scared.
boys ready, dog.
Right,
Make sure y'all boys ready.
right. Um, all right. So let's go. The future of wrestling. Where do you see semi-pro wrestling heading in the next few years, and what do you hope to play? What role do you hope to play? Kids coming behind you. We'll say people coming behind you.
Really, I've always been one of those people that like to pay knowledge forward. So like anything that I've learned up until this point, and even this goes for my boys too, like KJ, Ryan, my tag partner, the Amazonga, like they all put me on game.
Okay.
And so the school I'm repping right now, Grind Time Wrestling Academy, it's
Grind
over in
time wrestling.
Centerline,
Okay.
formerly as the House of Truth. If you guys know who Truth Martini was, he wrestled for Ring of Honor and WWE stuff like that back in the day.
Okay.
He's produced a lot of great talent to come out of there. But Alex Shelley has been one of the biggest mentors to me thus far. He signed to WWE Motor City Machine Guns. You already know. Um, so like when I'm up there with him, he's dropping gems. He's giving critiques. He's teaching us new techniques and stuff like that. And it's like it's a blessing for sure. And anything that he's told me that even if it doesn't apply to me in a way, because like anything based off my size is a little different from everybody else, and everybody else has their strong suit and their negative suit too. But anything that I've learned or I've picked up on is something that I can see if I'm watching somebody, I'm like, all right, well, this could be better, da 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 da, or find a better way to get into this, or X, Y, and Z. Like, there's so many examples I can use for this, but for my boys in general, they tell me like, hey, if you did this instead of this, or if you slow down right here, you good. It's green because we all know. Well, I know I got the physical, right? Everybody like I got the physical stuff pretty much down pat. For me now, it's more about taking my time, like,
Mm.
and like this is just me critiquing myself. It's taking my time, being more of the character too in between, not just the moves. Being more always knowing situational wrestling too.
Right.
It's not just like, oh yeah, we about to go have a wrestling match. Sometimes it's situational. You gotta know your opponent, you gotta know where you at, you gotta know what you're doing.
Right.
And I was at AAW last weekend And Good Brothers, if you watch WWE, they were in WWE with AJ Styles.
Okay.
They wrestle in Japan. They were there. They dropped some gems on me and my tag partner, and they said like they loved our match. You know what I mean? They gave us praise for that match, and that was kind of a big deal to me because it was like y'all were out there watching us wrestle, and y'all were at y'all merch table. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I didn't expect y'all to watch us, but the fact that y'all did watch us and say that was a good match, and we asked them like, did we do it? Is there anything we could have done better? They were like, no, you guys did really well, and that kind of hit me. I'm like, dang. So I got guys like the Good Brothers. I met Kurt Angle. I wrestled Rhino a couple of years ago in
Yeah.
the match. Like I've been in rooms with guys that are on TV. I did AEW back in May,
Right.
and sitting backstage, and I'm real big into observation.
Okay.
Like I might not always talk to everybody, but I'm big on observation, and I love how the camaraderie of the talent is backstage or just in general. Not everybody's mean, you know what I mean? Like we are in our own way standoffish, right?
Yeah.
But we are who we are, and that's what makes us great at what we do.
So
So a couple of years from now, I do see myself being signed for sure, but I
Yeah.
also see
Your
myself
foot's in the
traveling the
door for
world.
sure.
right, and then but that's the thing is that, uh, you're not again, like I said, we we talk in the gym and everything,
Mhm.
and, so I pay attention, well, especially after we started following each other on Facebook and everything, I watch the stuff that you post and everything, and it's always well-grounded, it's never any outlandish, "Hey, this is not a cat I would trust at my house," type deal,
Right.
and so and this was why it was important for me to get you on the show, so we could spread the word. I can guarantee there's some other people out there, trying to get to where you are, and you trying to get to the next spot. Other people are trying to get to where you are even, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to share your story, and everything that you're doing, positive,
Absolutely.
because everything that I've seen, it's never been anything that was like, shit. All right.
Right.
Yeah, it's never been any negative shit where I'm like, yeah, this is not a cat, I would ever invite to my home, so
Facts. And I appreciate that.
yeah, no, no, believe me, you're I can tell you right now, I know for a fact that, when you're in your element, you're a very coachable guy, because like if we talk, you may ask me a question, or I might even see you doing something that, hey, I think, hey, I will give you my 2 cents, and you're never standoffish. You're never like, "Oh, I ain't listening to you. Shit, I've been doing this shit for a minute.
Right.
I don't give a fuck how old
Right.
you are, man." And it's, so if I advise you on something, or if you ask me a question, you never take the advice, and where you can see some people, if you advise them on something, you can see them kind of roll their eyes, and then, then they're just not paying attention to that shit, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're always very approachable, and I think that is going to be I think it's going to be something that's going to really be helpful to you in your career,
I
because
appreciate
you
that for
always
sure.
seem to be, you know, taking in all this information, every opportunity you get. It may, and like you said earlier, it may not be something that applies to you in the moment, but it may be something that you could use to help somebody else.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, kudos to you for that. Because
Appreciate you.
it's a quality that not a lot of people have.
I always had a coach. I had coaches always tell me like, be a sponge. Like you can't
Yeah.
always just you can't always be a know-it-all. And I hate to say this, but like my brother's generation,
Mhm.
and he's 14, like they just think they know everything. And
Right.
all I try to say is
Yep.
like, you don't. Like if you just stop talking if you just stop talking, say I'm in a group, I'm around his group of friends because I've chaperoned his field trips,
Yeah.
and they talk amongst themselves, and I'll just sit there and I'll listen. But then he'll come talk, like they'll ask me, and I'm just like, well, if you do this, this, and this, it don't make sense.
Right.
Now, see, if you separate the situation and you break it down, then you good, because it's like, all right, I know what I'm doing for this, this, and this. And it to me, it came down to this football season. So when I watched him get in the game, and mind you, my 14-year-old brother is 6'5", 225.
Shit.
So he's big as hell, right?
Right.
He's
Yes.
big. And I'm watching
Oklahoma
him play
calling.
defensive tackle. And I'm like, all right, it should be no reason a kid that's 5'10" is getting under your chest, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I do I feel like it comes down to his coaching? A little bit, but it also comes down to him as a player.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's only a freshman, so I know he's only going to get better. But this offseason, I told him like, you're gonna be lifting with me, you're gonna be training with me. You ain't gonna really have no reason to not go do something. Cause now it comes your work ethic. Cause when it comes to the colleges, and I went to college and I wrestled. Was I successful in college? No, I wasn't. You know what I mean? I took a medical red shirt. I sprained my neck. I had a concussion, and I was trying to transfer, but it didn't work out in my favor because of the pandemic. So me like kind of working with him, it's like these college coaches, whether it's D1, D2, D3, or JUCO, they're looking at your work ethic. And if you bring trouble to them, they're not gonna want you a part of their team. And my brother's not really a troublesome kid. He's not. He's really goofy. He's really grounded too. And I think that's kudos to my mom. My mom did a real good job with us keeping us like, especially me, because I was kind of oblivious to certain things as a kid that I'm not really oblivious to now.
Mhm.
Just being out in this world, especially being a man of color out in this world.
Facts.
She told me as a kid, like, you really got to pay attention. And I didn't understand it until I was about 15, 16, 17. Being with my brother, I'm just telling him like, hey man, you got to be real aware no matter where you are, no matter who you with. You got to be aware of you and the situation that the people around you are in too. So, just him and her and me, like, we like three peas in a pod.
Right.
Those are my two best friends, and I do anything for them.
Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that though.
You know, so
It's crazy, man, because you're 24 years old and you still have to have this conversation that, you know, it bothers the hell out of me that we have to have these conversations about where we are in the world, being aware of our surroundings, because,
mhm,
and again, RJ, you and Trenton, I've had this conversation with you guys, that
Yeah.
be aware of where you are and who you're dealing with because, as young black men, we have to be careful. You know, you have to be careful. I mean, not and don't get me wrong, not everybody is out to get us, but there
yeah,
are people who are out there, looking for a reason to arrest you, to bother you, to call the cops, to get some shit started. You know, and people don't understand. We're sitting here having these conversations that we shouldn't have to have.
right,
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to tell each other, hey, when you go out, look out for yourself because, you could end up in the back of a police car or dead. You shouldn't have to have that conversation with your 14-year-old brother.
Don't walk
Yeah.
the wrong way or don't have your wallet in your
Yes.
front pocket,
Yeah.
because
It
it's
could
gonna
get you
look
shot.
scary.
Yeah, it could get you shot, which is
mhm,
ridiculous. But it is the day and age that we live in, unfortunately. And if we don't look out for each other, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. And
right.
that's the bottom line. All right, so let's move on to your legacy and motivation. Okay. What motivates you the most and what legacy do you want to leave? No matter how far you go in this field, in this career, what do you want to be remembered for?
I have a video on my Instagram that was taken a couple of years ago as I was getting started. Shout out to my boy Kane. He's a videographer and
Okay.
he does a podcast as well, Full Circle or something like that. I have to find it and let you know. But
Hey, let me know. We'll
um,
have him on the show. We'll talk.
he's a big man of God. And I grew up with Kane, and his cousin Ish. We all played football together, but they were all, like I said, they were always older than me. So
Okay.
most of my friends are literally like 25, 26, 27 and up. So he brought the camera into the gym and we were shooting content and the video goes, I don't really care about, you know, the fame. I never really cared to be famous. I just want to leave my motivation. So basically for me, it's how I approach people, how I talk to people, or the interactions I have with people. Like I don't try to disrespect anybody by any means. But my character is going to speak for itself.
Right.
Um, Forget how I look, forget how, what I do, my character and everything I do out with my character speaks for itself. That's how I want to be remembered.
Facts. I like it.
And as far as the thing that motivates me is I don't have anybody doing it for me.
Right.
So the only way I'm gonna be able to really do it is if I just do it. I don't have nobody holding my hand. I don't have like of course my mom is literally my biggest supporter, but it's me that's doing it. So I'm the only person that can motivate me even when I don't want to do it. I'm still motivated to do it.
Yeah, because them early morning workouts and late evening workouts, you'd be a killer, especially after you've had a long day, for the
Hmm.
fact that you're motivated to, to continue working on the process because you obviously you understand that this is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So being
Right.
educated to what you're doing, is important. You
For
know,
sure. I
um,
mean,
yeah, I mean, people get from me what they give to me. So, if you come up to me talking crazy as shit, you're gonna get the crazy version of me and you will I promise you will equally remember, you ain't gonna like it, but
but
you will equally
yeah,
remember the nice version too. So
yeah, for sure.
I respect that, man, and I'm it is refreshing to have so many young, positive, Black men that I see doing positive things. Like one of the things that I'm not gonna lie to you, when I see you in the gym, your pants are fucking pulled up. I mean, I'm 52 years old, man, and
I don't know why that's a
me
trend, bro.
right?
That's like the
Listen,
fashion style, man.
right, but it's
My
crazy
brother
because
does that, and I'll be like every time my mom, she's like, grab something and stick it up there and see what he does, and he pulls his pants up right after. Every time I catch him with his pants down, I just grab like a pencil, something like this, and just
Jesus
poke 'em.
Christ.
Yeah, the crazy thing so, like, my uncle's the warden in the Jersey State Prison, and he was telling me, years ago, man, he's that pants hanging off your ass is just saying that your ass is available,
That's crazy.
so you basically telling other dudes that, hey, if you're
Yeah,
free
nah.
later on, like, hey, I don't knock
I'm cell
people, I
block
don't knock people, but
A2.
I don't play that shit. So, um,
I mean, and I used to think that was cool back when I was a kid. Like
yeah,
my grandma used to be like, "Nah, don't be walking around with your pants all hanging off the butt. Like
yeah,
that's rude. That's disrespectful." Da, 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 da. And I'm like 7 years old. I'm like, "What do you mean? Like it's the style, right? Like it's the style." But as I grew older, and my biggest thing was too, I was a huskier kid, so most of my clothes either they did fit or they didn't fit, but I always had a belt
Mhm.
too. But I would loosen up the belt a little bit just to, cause yeah,
you wanna be
like I
cool,
got
I
the
get it, I bet you
comparison.
wanna be cool, man,
Right, right.
but, I
So
Right.
mean
now I'm like, nah. I mean, I like my pants to actually fit my waist, but the thing is, I've shrunk. So my waist went from a 38 to like a 34, back to a 36, back to a 34, back to a 35. Like I'm in between 36 and 34, so I can never really find clothes that really fit me. So like now I just gotta wear like a belt with them any pair of pants I get. That's why I'm always in sweats. I love
yeah.
being comfortable, so I don't have no reason for my pants to be hanging off my
I'm
ass.
always I'm
Yeah.
always in shorts and tennis shoes, t-shirt.
Yeah,
It's just
see, it's the
90
vibe.
yeah, just
Gotta be
90
comfortable.
time you see
Grab
me,
the first
that's what
thing
I'm
I
wearing.
find is comfortable.
Yeah. Alright.
I prefer comfort over style,
Oh,
man.
facts, facts.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong now. If
When
I
it's
can
time to step, it's time
oh,
to step
hey,
for sure.
watch out. I
Find
got you.
something.
Listen, I will look boy, you might not even recognize me,
Hey, bro, I know. I just did it a couple weeks ago. I went and got my hair twisted. My sister did my hair.
right?
I had on some oversized pants, crop with this jacket. I was stepping. I said, "Oh, I feel good."
Right? Yeah,
Cause
hey,
I don't have a reason to really just dress up. So I'm like,
right.
I got a reason to dress up. I'm gonna do it the right way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I definitely 100% understand that.
So, all right, man. So, in closing, for the rest of us average people, or people just seeking to do what you do.
Mhm.
Any advice? Any things you want to share? And when's your next show?
The advice I would give to like starting the professional wrestling journey is really just finding a school. And
Okay.
like it's fun, but I ain't gonna lie, it was one of the most mentally challenging things I ever put myself through.
Okay.
Because not just like, yeah, you can for real get hurt doing this stuff. I'm not gonna even lie. Like you can for real get hurt. It's people. Big E, he wrestled for WWE. He got his neck broken off a simple belly to belly suplex. You know what I mean? Like, it was a freak accident, and it sucks that he had to retire early, that he's not medically cleared to ever return to a ring. But you got to understand the pros and cons of it. And it just like amateur wrestling, just like football, understand the pros and cons.
Right. Yeah,
And I was gonna be a police officer before I even got trained.
Yeah.
And my grandma was like, "Ain't you scared of getting killed?" I was like, "No." I was like, "It's the pro and the con. It comes with the job." You know
Right.
what I mean? But God willing, God protect me. I'll always be good because I got faith in God.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it just comes down to getting started. I mean, everybody say, "Oh, I want to do this," just like people want to. "Oh, I want to go to the gym," or I want to come work out with you." Okay, let's see if you keep that same energy when it's time for you to actually do it.
You get in that gym.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really be a wuss about it.
Yeah,
What you gonna do about it?
right, man. But once again, this comes down to how committed you are to making your dreams come true.
Exactly. And so it just comes down to self-determination, honestly. And what was the next couple questions? I forgot.
Yeah, just one other. Hey, when's your next show? Where's it going to be at?
Okay.
Um,
As of right now, I think November 8th,
November 8th.
XICW. I think it's at XICW is one of the premier bigger wrestling shows that is around the Metro Detroit area. They've been around for 25 plus years. And the last show they had Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Trey Miguel there. Karrion Kross and Scarlett just left WWE not too long ago, so they were pretty new, like pretty fresh coming back because they used to wrestle at XI back in the day before he got signed. What else? November 8th, I know. So I might be able to be there for that one. And then November 15th and the 22nd, I'll be in Chicago.
Okay. So listen, because I want.
Oh, and the 14th, November 14th too, I'll
Okay.
be in Waterford.
Outstanding. So make sure you send that to me so we can put it on the Facebook page.
Okay.
So people
sure.
want to come check it out and everything. I would
sure.
get you all the support and everything that we can. We got to have you on the show again, just just kind of how things are going. It may not be about wrestling. It just may about gym life in general.
Oh, for sure.
Whatever.
I'm open to it. You already know.
Yeah, good,
Hey,
man.
and if
Look,
you want to talk some Lions junk, football junk,
yeah.
you always welcomed over here at the podcast.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
all
yeah.
can chop it up there
I'm
too.
gonna clear this up real quick too. I love the Lions. I love where they at right now. But the Lions were always my number two. I've been a Kansas City fan since I was. Listen. Wait. Before you get on my case.
Get him out.
I was always listen. I was a Kansas City fan way before Mahomes. I'm talking when I was 12, 13. Alex Smith quarterbacking. Getting them to the second round, but always losing to Brady. Like, I've been a KC guy since then, but the Lions were always my number two.
Hey, listen, man,
I'm definitely not a Swiftie. No.
We're not mad. We're not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you, man.
But I am a Lions guy too.
Yeah.
I am a Lions guy too.
Hey,
I love what the Lions are doing.
I grew up an Eagles fan.
Word.
Or Eagles fan. Moved and started getting into the Lions. Kind of became even after the 0-16 season. They were, a hardcore Michigan fan. Always have been. So
I'm a state guy, bro, and I'm mad Michigan won. I'm mad Michigan whooped their ass yesterday. I was sick.
You a state fan?
I used to live up there. My cousin.
We've been saying all the points. What's going on?
My cousin went to Michigan State, and she's in the Hall of Fame. So, like, Michigan State run deep in our family. I mean, and I got cousins that like Michigan too, but I used to live up at State.
We're not mad at you one way or the other.
I'm not mad at you. You got family ties there. I can't.
There we go. We got you. You back.
Yeah.
It paused for a second. So, all right, guys. Hey, we're going to end it there. It was an absolute pleasure. RJ, thank you for stopping in from the podcast.
Of course.
Episodes every Sunday. Angel, my man, I will see you at the gym probably tomorrow. Guys, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys coming out. We're experiencing some small technical difficulties, but hey, hopefully everything will be straight. You guys be good. Take care. This episode will air next Sunday.
Peace.
Okay, bet.
All right, guys, be good. Take care.
Nice to see y'all. Yes, sir. You too. I'll see you around.
Yes, sir.